Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is I, the Beta Cat, and I am here with Ryan, Static P.
Hey guys.
And welcome back to another episode of Don't Worry Wednesdays. So, starting off, we are going to go ahead with Yami K. Yami Ka? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. But she said, "So, I just found out that my best friend is going out with my ex. An ex who left me for another girl, and I cried on her shoulder all day. I'm not sure what to do. I'm scared." And I'll be passing it off to Ryan.
All right, thanks, Derek. Yamika, maybe? I think that's probably right. Yamika, that sounds like pretty traumatic and emotionally scarring situation. Not a fun thing to go through when you're invested in somebody like that. You know, you love them and then they dump you and go out with someone that is also close to your best friend. That would not be anybody's desired situation for sure. Obviously, you don't want to lose your friend, and I don't think that you have to for sure. There's no reason that you would have to part with your friend. I think it'd be best, of course, if you were able to put your emotions aside and allow that person to still be your friend and support them in what they're doing. I guess it would be fair to point out that so your ex, I'm not sure if you dumped them or they dumped you, but regardless, you should not ever just like despise or hate your ex. I mean, you should try to be loving to all people. You know, it's a lot healthier for you to do that. So even if you care for them still, or even if you don't, you should, especially if you do though, you should support them as well. You should say, you know, you're going out with this person, you're going out with my best friend, but I still care about you and I want the best for you, so I'm going to support you in this. It's not an easy thing to do, and it takes a lot of courage and strength to do something like that. But, you know, the right thing often does take a lot of strength to do. That's just how it is. You might kind of have the urge to run away from it all and abandon them both, but I don't think that's really what you want. You know, you don't want to lose your friends or those that are close to you. So, I guess my best advice is to bear with it and try to just get used to it. You will eventually, over time. I've known people who have had that same exact situation happen to them, and after they spend enough time with those people, like they'll spend time with both of them together, and they like hug on each other right in front of them and stuff like that. At first, it's really like it's awkward. Like at first it might be painful. They expect it to be painful, and then it just becomes kind of awkward and weird, and then eventually it just becomes okay, and they're like, oh yeah, this is just how it is. It's normal and it doesn't affect me emotionally at all. I mean, you will get over this. So don't exaggerate it to a point where you lose your friendships over it. Yeah, so just be strong, because you totally can be. I believe that, especially since it's not an easy thing to write a comment about this. So obviously you've got some strength to carry through with being strong and dealing with the pain for a short period of time while it eventually goes away, because it will. Yeah, it will. And I'll just pass it off to Derek and see what he has to say.
So he pretty much nailed the nail on the head. No, he hit the nail on the head.
You nailed the nail. Okay.
He got the hammer and hit the nail right on it. That's what he did.
Perfect.
But yeah, I agree with everything Ryan said. And yeah, we understand that you're very emotional at this point because you once were in a relationship with this ex, and probably just being around them bring back the feels and all that stuff. But, you can't really get away from it, especially if your ex is now dating your best friend, which is fine. They can do as they wish, as you have the right to do as you wish. So if you need the space, go for it. But at the same time, you do have to respect them as well. And hopefully they respect you as well. And as Ryan said, as you hang around someone for a certain period of time, you get more comfortable. And it's just a natural point of things. At first, as he said, it'll hurt for a little bit. But then sooner or later, you'll all be sharing a ice cream cone. Not the popsicle, because that's weird. But ice cream cone. Or like the ice cream cup. Ice cream cup? Ice cream boat. I don't know. One of those things.
One spoon or like 3 spoons for an ice cream cup.
Yeah.
I feel like sharing an ice cream cup would be a little bit more sanitary.
Yeah, ice cream cup.
It's really an issue?
Yeah, just get an ice cream cup. Why does that say? That sounds so weird to say.
It sounds weird to say ice cream cup. Hey, I feel like it'd be like an ice cream, like the ball of ice cream, but shaped into a cup.
Because you could say you want to get an ice cream cone, and that sounds fine. But then you say, "Hey, you want to get an ice cream cup?" Your friends would just look at you and be like,
I'm sorry, you just blew my mind. What did you say? Start over.
I don't know. I heard this guy say it on the interwebs, and it sounded weird.
It certainly does. Hey, you want to go get an ice cream cup? I'm going to say that from now on because I like it. It has a certain ring to it that's just enough off-putting that it confuses people, but they also want it.
Just know if you guys do that, you're going to question your friend's friendship. They're going to question you. Anyway, yeah, so you'll be fine. Just not as soon as you would like, but in due time and just hanging around, you'll all come together and be all good again. And that's all I got for that. Hashtag ice cream cup.
Hashtag ice cream cup. I'm kind of thinking of like a Reese's peanut butter cup, and then inside of it is, instead of like peanut butter, you got ice cream. That would be good.
It's just a gap.
Okay, anyways, I'm sorry. I just got carried away by the ice cream cup. Hashtag ice cream cup. So, carry on, Derek.
So, we hope we solved your question, Yami Ka. Sorry again. And please excuse the jokes aside. But all in all, we hope that Ryan and I were able to shed a little bit of light and hopefully offer some encouraging words. And yeah, just take your time. And now I'll be passing off to Ryan.
All right. So this week we are going to do 3 because this one's going to be very short. We assume, I guess we don't really know, but this person posted twice. His name or her name, I'm not quite sure. Ishna Wolf. They posted twice, and I really like their comment because they seem like a very caring and a very awesome person that cares for their siblings. And I just kind of wanted to reach out to this person. So this is Ishna Wolf, and they said, I never had to try in high school or college or anything to succeed, but my brother and sister are getting discouraged because everyone is holding them to the standard I set. I'm not good with feelings. How do I let them know they should be themselves, but at the same time making sure they do good in school too? Derek, go ahead. Take it away.
So, to answer your question, and to be blunt, because I hope you guys figured by now that that's kind of how I am, with a little soft touch once in a while. But pretty much what you told us, you gotta tell your siblings. Now you're like probably thinking, wow, I hate this guy. But even though you have a standard that's been set because of your own thing that you've done, and it makes sense that your parents want to see your siblings do the same because you're that role model for them, which is fine. That's just natural. But I think as a older sibling, even though you said you're not very good with feelings and stuff like that, just talk to them like you normally would, but give hints of making sure that they do good in school. You know, they're young. Let them do them. Let them have fun, let them progress in their own way, but be that older sibling and keep an eye out for them. If you see them kind of slacking, give that an encouragement, but not in the sense where you're being passive aggressive, like, hey man, you should really do that or else I'm not going to be your older sibling anymore. Just kind of help them out with whatever they need, but also give them the chance to be themselves, because not everyone is the same. Not someone is going to be the next generation star or anything like that. As for yourself, you said you never had to try or anything, but you just succeeded because you just did. And there's a chance that maybe your younger siblings will not be that way, which is fine. So once they get to that path where it goes 50-50 where they will succeed, just like as you did, or maybe they will not, they might need that encouragement, especially from a role model, which is you possibly, to let them know that, hey, it's okay, just keep doing your best, keep doing you, and just know that I'm here for you. And probably to help sway your parents' thoughts as well, because as you said, they're being held to a standard that you created, but it's also in your best interest to kind of let them know that, hey, it may not go as you planned, just to be open-minded and just let them be themselves. Because nothing's fun when it's all robotic and kind of laid out for you, if you know what I mean. And that's all I really got for that.
Thanks, Derek. You pretty much said everything, hit the nail on the head of the nail, as you had said on that one. Hashtag ice cream cup. And I was thinking the same thing, Ishna. I was like, honestly, all you have to do is tell them what you told us. And it can be awkward, but, you know, I bring up awkward things with people from time to time, and it feels like, oh no, this is going to be awkward, and I bring it up. But it always usually just runs over smoothly. And even if it is awkward, who cares? It's just a couple of seconds of your life, you know, and it can do some good. So it's not that big of a deal. Just bring it up, and just like, even if it's, I don't know, you're chilling, eating food together, or you have to call them up on the phone or whatever, I don't know. Anything is fine, like in the middle of a conversation, doesn't matter. Just be like, hey, look, you guys are awesome, and I want you to be yourselves. Just, I'm sorry for setting like the bar so high and that sort of thing in school, but I just want you to know that to me, I want you to do good in school, and I'm really proud of you for all that you do in school, but I want you to be you. So don't try to be me, you know, don't try to just be me because I was successful in school. Whatever you feel like you have to say, you know, whatever's on your mind. But yeah, you can do it. You can totally do it. Just have to work up your own courage. I guess this is the one thing that might not come easy to you, right? But that's going to be something that'll probably be worth it to you, even if they don't necessarily feel moved by what you say or whatever. It will help you move forward, just because you have to go out of your comfort zone to do something like that. So it'll be good for all of you, likely, you know. But anyhow, that's that for that one. And then I'll pass the last one on to Derek, and he'll read it, if he's okay with doing that. I don't know. He's the host. He gets to decide.
So, I will read it, Ryan.
Will he? Okay, wonderful. I was a little bit cautious there.
Yeah, for some reason. Okay, so as he explained earlier that this person left 2 comments, so I'm going to read the second one.
Oh, this person isn't from the same.
Oh, this is a different comment.
This is from a different person, but they gave me a private message, so I didn't put their name down.
Oh, okay. So, just kidding. This is a different person from a private message. And it starts off as, I feel my life is boring and I have no control because I'm in school. I moved from old school away from my friends. I feel that it's just not worth it to live while you can't really control your life, especially if it's not 1% pleasurable. And I don't think it's fair some people have control over others' lives. Obviously not completely, but to the extent you can't do what you would if you had not been under their authority. So you can talk about what to do when you feel helpless in your life. I know this sounds dramatic. And I'm gonna pass this over to Ryan.
All right, thank you, Derek. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit. I'll just come out with it. Life is beautiful and amazing, and there are times in everybody's life, and everybody's lives. I think that's kind of whatever. That they don't have control over things. For example, anybody who has a job, that's not something that they usually want to do. Most times people have jobs and they don't want to do them. But they don't get to control their hours that they work. They don't get to control what they do at their job. They simply have to do it because, they have to make a living. But in a way, that's not a bad thing because the job provides a couple of things. The job, one, provides money, which is good. Then that allows them to live their lives and determine their lifestyle, which, under your circumstance, it doesn't sound like you have a job, but I'm just kind of giving a perspective that a lot of people would understand. So they make money, and that's good. But the other thing that they benefit from having a job, and a lot of people don't necessarily see this, but it's a thing that exists, and it's possibly more fruitful than the money that they earn, is that when they work a job, they learn and experience life. Even though they're doing something they don't want to do, they're getting a lot out of it because they are learning on the job about other people, about themselves. They're becoming more talented at their job. If it's something they enjoy, then that's awesome. If it's something they don't enjoy, at least they're getting better at it, so they can hopefully make more money with it. Another thing that's beneficial about their job is it's improving their character as a person because they're doing something that they don't necessarily want to do, but they're saying, I'm going to do this anyways because I have a family to provide for, or I have myself to provide for even. This provides character. This builds character. This makes us stronger individuals. And so even though you don't necessarily always have control over your lives, whatever. For some reason, I can't figure out which one of those words I want to use. Even if you don't have control over it, you can use that and see it in a good and beautiful and helpful way because you can take that experience and grow from it, even though it's something you didn't necessarily want to do. Here's something a little bit more to add on to that. Any relationship that is a loving relationship, or I'll just say this in general, love, the concept of love, the only way you can prove that you actually love somebody is to do the things you don't want to do for that person. Oftentimes that means suffering, because otherwise it's just an emotion in your head that's self-gratifying. It's like you can't actually take an emotion and make someone else feel good because you have that emotion. I mean, it doesn't work that way, and love isn't just about emotion. Love is about doing what you don't want to do for that person so that person can feel good, or so that person can grow, so that as a way to look out for the best of that person, for that person. And so, to enjoy life, to get joy out of life, and to love life, you actually have to do the things you don't want to do and don't have control over, because that is the way that you show and experience life in a loving way, or that you do love it, or that you love somebody. So it's kind of off topic, but it is still in the topic. So sorry for kind of going off on a tangent. And as for people who have control over others not being fair, well, I mean, let's kind of face it. Life isn't fair, and it wasn't meant to be. You know, we all have different lives to live, and that's beautiful. We're all different people. We all have many different things about us, and many different adventures that we find in life. And there's no two lives that are exactly the same. It's not meant to be fair, you know, and it's not bad that some people have control over you, as long as it's not like a situation where they've made you their slave, you know. Then it can be an issue where I would, you know, recommend trying to get out of that situation. But I don't think that that is the situation that you are in. But yeah, we all have people that have a certain degree of control over our lives, and it's just something that we have to live with, and that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes the people that have control over lives have wisdom, and even though we don't want to follow their rules are actually helping us to be better people and better to ourselves, and to help us grow as individuals and be polite and all of these things. So even though if you can't control your life, it means you have less freedom, it doesn't mean it's not okay. The word freedom is an interesting thing, I should say, because just because you have the option to choose things doesn't mean that you're more free. A lot of times people associate that with freedom, but there's another sense of freedom, and that is this. For example, just to say, is a train more free when it is on the tracks or off the tracks? Well, it can't move off the tracks, so it's more free when it's on the tracks. But being on the tracks means it can't go everywhere it wants to. Well, that's fine because it can't go everywhere it wants to anyways. So freedom can be that sense, where following the rules and being a good person actually makes you more free than being a bad person or not following the rules of others. Because it actually gives you the ability to continue forward in your life in a better way, giving you more options later than not having any options at all, because you have nobody, you know, controlling you or helping you on those tracks of life. So anyhow, sorry for my tangents, and I will pass this over to Derek.
So I don't really have anything to say, to be quite honest, because he pretty much said it all.
Sorry.
But I will tell you a story. It's going to be just about myself. Most of you don't know me really, but I lost control of my life for 3 months because I got laid off. Now, I was in the same position as you probably felt, where I couldn't really do anything because, one, I didn't have any financial income to be able to go out and enjoy myself. Now, it may sound like I'm complaining, but as an older individual, I'm 27, as an adult, I needed a job to pay for bills, to pay for rent, to pay for anything, to do something. Now, fortunately, I was living with my parents, or still am living with my parents, so they took care of that aspect for me. But I felt restricted because I grew up as a self-starter, did everything on my own. Regardless if I live with my parents, I still purchase things for myself and pay for my own things because that's how I am. So for those 3 months, I felt very stripped away of my freedom, so to speak. Now that probably sounds exaggerated, but it all happens. Now in that 3 month span, I learned how to survive on the bare minimum of what I was able to have and own. I learned who were my real friends were, because I wasn't able to go out or be around people because I just didn't have funds to be doing anything, which is fine. But I had friends who were supportive of that, who tried to help me, and then I just had friends who just stopped hitting me up, which is fine. Because that told me who were my real friends and who were not. And I think the third thing that I learned about not working and anything was that I hated not doing anything because I'm always doing something. I'm a busy individual. I like to stay moving, keeping my mind working because I don't like to be bored. But I finally got a job, so we don't have to talk about that. But I'm working now, so it's all good. But the point of being laid off was that I lost control of my life. And in that span, I had the same thoughts as you did. Like, I lost control. The job that I was once working for took that away from me. And they took control of that. They made me unemployed. But it brought me to a greater opportunity. And what I want you to take from this story is that you're going to learn some things in this position you're in. But it's not the end all be all. Something greater is going to happen. Now, I'm not saying that it's just going to be given to you. This greater thing will be presented to you, and it's really up to you to go get it. If you continue to sulk, if you continue to have negative thoughts, if you continue to feel like nothing else is going to happen positively to yourself, then that will probably happen because you make choices in your life. Things will be there to be given opportunities, but if you don't go for them, then you gotta have to take a step back and look at yourself and see if that positive thing didn't happen because someone took it from you, or is it because you took it from yourself? And that's what I want you to take away from that. That no matter how bad things get in your life, there's always going to be a positive to it, but you have to make sure your mind is open and you're able to see it happen. Because if you stay in the dark, then there's no light for you to chase. So just keep an open mind, keep an open eye, and just look for it. And that's it. That's my story.
That was beautiful. I liked it.
Well, yeah, so we've come to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed the 3-piece that we got. And it's time for Ryan to tell the joke.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I got a joke for you.
Okay.
The fact that I have a joke is a joke. I don't have one, and that's a sad joke. Yeah, but it's a joke. It's the other kind of joke. It's not the joke that's funny, haha. It's joke as in, wow, that's a joke. Like.
Okay, well, before I tell my joke, like I'm supposed to, did I tell you what happened to me yesterday?
No.
Well, I was helping someone cook and I accidentally swallowed some food coloring. The doctor said I'll be okay, but I feel like I died a little bit on the inside.
Oh, nice. What color was it?
It was red. I don't know if it's blood or am I really dying, but
yeah. Are you really dying, or is that just the dye that's dyeing the insides of you?
Have you ever tried to eat a clock? It's very time consuming.
Oh, that's good. Consuming time, literally.
Yes.
Yes, by the way, I have, and they're quite crunchy.
Yes, indeed.
And it is very time consuming. No, I haven't actually. Did you just say bye?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said bye right in the middle of me talking and you're just gonna end it.
Well, I mean, I could.
You totally could.
Anyway, I hope you wonderful viewers enjoyed the show. You may have noticed it was a little out there, this one. I don't want to give it all thanks to Ryan.
I'm sorry.
No, that was a good thing. What?
You've probably never heard those two in sync with each other before. I'm sorry, but you're welcome.
I'm sorry, it was so great, you know? I just couldn't hold back the awesomeness that was me.
Yeah, but you're welcome to more of it. Consume as much of me as you want. Just replay the video. There you go.
Just watch his parts. That's all you need to watch.
I would not recommend that. Because then you'd only be experiencing like a quarter of the awesomeness that the video actually has to offer. Most of it comes from Derek.
I hope you guys like the show.
The silence. He was pondering how much he loves me in that few short seconds that was silent. I know him too well. That's what he was doing.
I hate that guy.
I know, right? He's so bad. Wait, who are we talking about?
Hashtag awkward pee.
Hashtag ice cream cups.
Anyway, once again, if you guys have any suggestions or comment situations that you're in, please leave them in the comment section below. And for others, if you like that person's suggestion, give it a thumbs up. And the ones with the most likes will be featured on next episode of Don't Worry the Wednesday.
Yes,
My name is Ryan.
And I'm the Beta Cat, also known as Derek.
And awkward, see you later.
He's so awkward.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.